let me share my screen real quick. Before we get in there, I want to ask everybody, just with a show of virtual hands here, how many people set goals on an annualized basis? Silly question, simple question. How many people are setting goals? Okay, good. Keep your hands up. When you set those goals, is it easier to set them or achieve them? If it's easier to set them, keep them up. If it's easier to achieve them, put them down. Setting versus achieving. That's what we're going to talk about today. Raquel had both hands up. We're going to talk about setting and then achieving, right? What do we need to do? And I'm going to give you 3 steps. We're going to do this real quick too, because I have some people on here that I want to pull out that I personally coach that will share with you guys the steps that we take in coaching on how to get through this. So let me share my screen real quick. Let's see, where is it? Let's see. Sharing screen. Is this gonna allow me? Allow Zoom to share screen. Okay, there we go. I started using a new computer today, and let's see if it's going to work. If not, I will jump on a different computer. 2 seconds, guys. Sorry about this. Hey, Heather, I'm going to send you this PowerPoint here real quick. And then we're going to launch into that. Let me see, where is it? 2 seconds, everybody. Here it is. Morning mindset. I don't know why it's not letting me do this. Okay, Heather, I just sent it to you. Heather Brockman.
Okay, I'll grab it.
Okay, all right, I just sent it to you, and when you get that, just open up the PDF and just share that screen, and I'll let you drive it. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna dive into this right now. So setting goals versus achieving goals. The very first step, let me open it up for myself. If you think about it, the very first step is your actual vision. How many people can truly articulate what their vision is in the next 1, 2, 3 years? Or heck, let's even go back. How about a month? How about a week? Do you have a vision for what it is you're looking to accomplish in that short time frame? Let me write this. Let me share this with you. It says, there's a book called The Vision Driven Leader. Has anyone read that book? Anybody? If not, it's a great book. Yes, Raquel, I know Raquel has. It's a great book, and it actually gives you more step-by-step process to understanding what the difference between a vision and a mission statement actually is. So step number 1 in actually achieving those goals is having the vision. So here's a great example. Dawn Finch is usually on here. She's now at an appointment. I coached Dawn, and we just got off our coaching call. And I want to share something with you that she said to me. I'm going to try not to paraphrase here. She said she's been writing out her future self, and she was part of Dana's book club of the Super Attractor, and she was like, Adam, it's working. I said, well, tell me what's working. And she goes, because here's what she had been doing. She goes, what's working is I had been beating myself up about yesterday, right? Here's the mindset. I've been beating myself up about yesterday and not focusing on my tomorrow, right? Our limitings, our shortcomings from yesterday is what drives our patterns for today. Think about that. And she goes, I don't do that anymore. I said, I'm gonna beg to differ there, because I've heard some of your language that you do that still. However, at the same time, you're doing much better. So think about that. What does your vision look like? And are you able to share that with someone? So we've got the opportunity to see it, and now you have the opportunity to share that with someone. I want to share with you real quick. Is Dana on here? Let me see here. No, I don't see her. This is going to be fun. So I'm going to share with you our actual vision statement. And it goes like this. It's leading a big, simple life that utilizes our unique God-given superpowers to move forward each day with the actions, habits, and intentionalities necessary for us to live out God's calling and leave a legacy beyond us. So what we do with that, or what I challenge her to do, is Every single time we have to make a decision, we say decision, vision statement, are they in alignment? Okay, remember, going back, this is mindset. We're looking at setting goals and now achieving goals. That's step number one. Step number two, Heather, have you got it yet?
I'm working on it.
Take your
Sorry.
So step number two, gang, is understanding this thing between our ears, our brain. Whew, that brain sure gets us in a lot of trouble, doesn't it? Let's think about this. That brain, I want you to realize that everything you do, and you've probably heard this before, is patterned on your subconscious. It's patterned by your subconscious. Your subconscious controls 98% of your daily movement, of your daily habits, of your daily thoughts. Go back to Dawn as an example. Dawn said, oh my gosh, my future vision, as I'm saying and writing that out daily, is removing yesterday's vision. So if you think about that, watch this. Your subconscious can't make decisions, though. Your subconscious is there based on patterns that will protect you and keep you safe and efficient. Right? So why is it hard to achieve goals? There we go. Go ahead, you can control us. We're on number two. By the way, that I Love Recruiting is a company that I own. Keep going, next one. Please, next one. Perfect. So here's our mindset, right? Understanding your brain. Your subconscious controls 98% of your daily movement, and it's based on patterns that it has learned. So let's think about this. So I'm 43 years old. And with that, I have 43 years worth of patterns that my brain says, okay.
Hey, Randy,
What's that?
we're not leaving till 1.
Cool.
Oh,
So
did she text you?
my brain tells me how to keep me safe and how to keep me efficient from an energy standpoint. Your brain is doing that right now, right? Your brain is telling you, yep, I've heard this before, so I'm going to check out. Or no, I haven't heard this before, so I'm going to write this down. Here's what we have to do. Setting versus achieving goals. If you want to achieve a goal that you've never done before, gang, here's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to create what's called new neuroplasticity. Those are new thoughts, new actions, new movement, new types of everything. Because your brain won't let you do that. Your subconscious brain won't let you do that because it controls 98%. Your conscious brain will let you do that, right? Your conscious brain will definitely let you do that if you get into the habits on a daily basis. So what are habits? Well, habits are whatever it is that vision says that you should be doing, right? So leading a big, simple life is the start of our vision statement. What does that mean? Well, we had to define big. We had to define simple. God's calling, what does that mean for us? So on and so forth. Okay, so that's step number 2. Let's go to step number 3, Heather, please.
Oh, I'm locked up. Hold on. What is it?
Technical difficulties.
Oh my gosh. Like my computer's literally locked up.
So I want to stay on the mindset real quick, because here's what I want you to write down, gang. I want you to write down this sentence. Are you interested or are you committed? Are you interested or are you committed? So I lived in Los Angeles for a long time, and Hollywood was literally in my backyard. And 2 things before I share this Hollywood story is really kind of fun. I had a mentor say this, I don't know if we can see this picture. He says, commitment is, you might want to write this down. Commitment is doing the thing you said you would do long after the mood you set it in has left you. So let's chew on that for a second. Commitment is doing the thing you said you were going to do long after the original mood you set it in has left you. Right? So I'll wake up in the morning and I'll say, Dana, honey, I'm going to make some dinner tonight. It's going to be so good. I can't wait for it. And we get into our work, and the next thing you know, it's 6 o'clock, and she's like, hey, where's that dinner you said you're going to make? I'm like, oh, yeah, that was exciting back when I thought about it, but now I'm not going to do it. Right? Commitment. No, that's a silly little example. But again, think about that. Are you committed or are you interested in your goals? Let's look at interested. You do what's easy and convenient for you. You allow your past stories and failures to stop you from moving forward. Your obstacles will be bigger than your vision and your goals. Ah, how true is that? I had a guy that called me the other day, and he said, Adam, I want to get into coaching. I said, great. Tell me what it is about coaching that you're really excited about. So we went through this whole deep dive. And then I was not convinced that he was going to be committed. And again, I just took him down this path because I knew this guy's track record. And here's what started to show up. He said, yeah, I'm committed, but we know what comes up after that, right? Those are his past stories. Those are his past patterns coming to fruition. So the fun part of the end of the story was, listen, I said, if you're fully committed, you'll pay for 6 months in advance. I don't necessarily want your money or need the money, but at the end of the day, I want to know if you're committed, and there's no refunds. So you ready to write the check? We'll see. Thursday's when he starts. We'll see if he's committed. What does committed look like? You will do whatever it takes. You will upgrade your knowledge and your skills. You will develop the beliefs, language, affirmations to match your goals. Again, that's a big one right there, the affirmations. How many people, just with a show of hands real quick, how many people do daily affirmations? Anybody? Perfect. So daily affirmations sound silly. They sound a little cheesy. Who cares though? That's a projection. I'll share with you mine. And I've been saying this for quite some time. Here's what I say every single day. And then I listen to myself. I've recorded this. I listen to it and I run my fingers across this. I have it right here on my phone. I run my fingers so my brain will actually put it into so my brain will actually see it as a movie, and then will eventually say, okay, fine, Adam, I get it. I need to conserve energy. Now I've memorized it. So here's my affirmation. I have an abundance of physical and mental energy. I feel and look great. I am the healthiest I have ever been, being spiritually grounded, emotionally centered, and mentally focused. Being totally healthy and happy are my highest priorities. I now weigh 190 with less than 9% body fat. I am consciously in a peak performance state of flow, creativity, and productivity. My blood work is perfect, and I now have an abundance of energy, focus, and peace of mind. I sleep deeply and soundly and feel well rested and energized every single day. That's my affirmation. I'm telling myself that's where I'm going to be because I'm committed to my achievement of my goals, right? Let's go to the last one. This is step number 3. My favorite. If you could see my board behind this monitor, you would see literally my brain gets dumped up there because I do believe that visualization equals stimulation. Think about that. Are you visualizing your achievement of your goals, right? Remember, we're talking about setting versus achieving here. Visualization equals stimulation. So on the pictures here on the right-hand side, these are just some ones that I've done. Those are my kids. That wall is right in front of me here. That's my think tank wall. I just dumped my brain on there. But that's them writing out their 2020 goals, right? And then I have them keep those in their room. Heather saw Addison's. She was just here a couple weeks ago. And they see them, and they get to write them, and they get to read them, and they get to see them every single day because visualization equals stimulation. On the right below that, those are just some appreciative inquiries that I've done. But again, having everyone write out their goals and write out their vision boards. Below that, those are my kids doing their dream boards. And again, those are in their rooms. And then they wanted to do their own little presentation of them, right? So that's, again, just showing how we're going to be achieving these goals. Again, there's a lot of actions that we have to do from setting to achieving. And I would say that at least probably 90% of it is all mindset, right? It truly is all mindset. And we've heard that before. So here's some actions. Write out your intentions and read them daily while running your fingers from left to right, which is what we just talked about with affirmations. Your brain is creating a mental movie. So I want to share this with you as it relates to a mental movie. This is going back to being committed. If you were in Hollywood and someone said, you know what? You have the opportunity to earn $10 million, but you have to read this script, you have to memorize it, and then internalize it, and then step into character, and we will hire all the best coaches for you, and you got to get this done in 1 month. would you be committed to doing that? Some of us would say, yeah, we'd be motivated by the money. Some of us would say, yeah, because we want to be motivated to be on the big screen. Some of us say, heck no, I don't want to be on the big screen. And I don't want to read scripts. However, that's the definition of commitment, right? Doing the thing you said you're doing long after the original you said it and has left you. Coming back down to visualization. This to me, I think is so daggone important. So now, next slide, please, Heather. Here's some action steps I wrote out for you. So number one, download and listen to Vision Driven Leader. One of the best books out there when it comes to understanding how to write out a vision statement. For my coaching clients, we are getting through the book called Inner Size. And Inner Size talks all about how the brain, from an exercise, if you will, standpoint, can become stronger. And again, this transcends all business, right? So whether this is in business, whether I say if you're staying home taking care of your kids right now because we're all becoming teachers, that is a great book for that as well. This is for everything. Define your vision and your vision statement. So this is something that takes a bit of time. I put on here 1 hour, and what I meant by that was 1 hour a day. Get some focus and intentionality behind that, and then share that with someone or share it with everyone. Go put it wherever you want to. Understand your daily habits that are old and then create new ones which will propel you forward faster, right? And again, those new habits are going to create new neuroplasticity, which will help that subconscious brain then have you do new things, which is achieving the goal that maybe you haven't done before. This is a great podcast. So John Assaraf, he actually wrote the book Inner Size. So he and Ed Milet, who's another, I think, a good podcast guy, they got together and they did a podcast together. I think Ed was interviewing John, and it was really good. And then lastly, create your vision board, journal about your tomorrow, and say your daily affirmations, right? And again, I put on here that this is probably about 11 hours of commitment, with most of it being in the books. And so are you committed or are you interested, right? So here's what I want to do now. I want to bring on, let me open this screen up a little bigger. I want to bring on Raquel. I don't know if Jenny's on here. Raquel is one of my coaching clients, and she's in the real estate space, and we've been working together for nearly a year now. And the fun part about this is she's so coachable. She's so fun. She does, she tries to give me a hard time every once in a while. But Raquel, walk us through your transition from setting to now achieving goals, if you don't mind.
Okay. Hello. Good morning, everybody.
Hi.
I will say I'm always transitioning from setting to achieving goals, which also was one of my problems, or my challenges, my opportunities, is that I have always had big goals and big visions and big things that I wanted to accomplish. But the difference between just setting them and actually moving forward and achieving them was to clearly define them. It's like I just always had this feeling that I could do more. Oh, I should do more. I should do more. But until I could put that into words, write that down, embed it, in my being, at that moment, I was able to say, okay, every time I get other bright ideas and bright visions and great things I want to run on track and do, I'm able to come back and say, okay, but do they fall within my primary vision that I worked really hard on to set, that I believed to my core? Mm-hmm. So I think once I defined it and I believed it, then I committed to it. That's a big deal. There's lots of interest in lots of things out there, but that commitment is really what made the difference. And for me, it was timing and great coaching, of course.
Now, here's a fun part about that commitment. Let's go back to that. Do we have any people on this, and again, you don't have to raise your hand, that have commitment issues? Sure. We all do, some way, shape, or form, right? So how do we get over that? How do we get over that? The simplest way that I have found, Raquel, I thought you were going to say something there. Remove
distractions. I didn't know if you were asking me. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Remove distractions. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the fun part about removing distractions. Sometimes we don't want to accept what a distraction is, right? So I'll share this with you. I hired a coach here recently, and I always love to be coached up. I always love to hear different things. And so this right here is a list that he sent me, and Raquel knows this story. He sent me this list, gang, and he's like, this is a list to help you remove distractions. So the very first thing he had me do was change my web browser from Safari to Chrome. And I thought, well, what's the point of that? He goes, I'm gonna tell you what the point is. He goes, because I want you to download Chrome plugins. And this is what some of them were. News Feed Eradicator. First of all, that word eradicator just sounds kind of cool. And I was like, what is that? He says, go do it. And so I went and did it. Gang, how many people get stuck on Facebook or social media and they get sucked into a black hole? I might be the only one, but again, here's what Newsfeed Eradicator did. He goes, I'm going to help you stay focused. And the way to stay focused is if you get on Facebook and there's a big old news feed, you're going to get caught wanting to read. You're going to get caught. That's just how the chemicals in your body do. Newsfeed Eradicator, gang, when I go onto Facebook, there's nothing there. There's nothing there anymore. It's just my post. I post and it's gone and it's done. I can't even go see what Heather's doing or Raquel's doing or Sarah's doing. It's gone. So that was one thing. He made me do the same thing with YouTube. And then this is the best part. I'll cut to the chase. I want to show this to you. This is now my home screen on my phone. He made me remove every app that was a distraction, including social media. Yes, there is no YouTube. Yes, there is no Facebook. Yes, there is no Instagram on my phone anymore. I mean, literally, like shakes and nerves. Now, Raquel, I don't know if you recall. So what we do now in our coaching is this past week, I shared this story with them. We've been taking a screenshot of our time on our phone and sending it to our group. And we found, we had a guy in there who lost 48 hours, about 48 hours a week playing games and social media. 48 hours. So I would challenge you all, again, if you're looking to create new habits, to look at all of your distractions. Look at all your distractions. And are you committed to removing those distractions and staying 100% in the time block space for you to achieve whatever it is you're looking to achieve? I still have the shakes, and it's been almost 2 weeks, and I don't have social media on my phone. But it's been good. I don't know what's going on. I did put a little post on there to say, I'm out of here, guys. See you later. I'll be back shortly. But it's been fun. Let's see, what else? Is there anything else we can? Here's something else that was kind of cool. Again, this is all about intentionality. I highly recommend you guys doing this. Draw out a circle. Draw out a circle real quick. Everyone draw out a circle. This will take 2 minutes. Draw out a circle, and then on the right-hand side of that circle, I want you to go ahead and list all your work activities, okay, or all your daily activities, whatever that may be. List them all out. So if you work 8 hours a day, what are the top 5, 8 things you do every single day? Do I keep freezing? Looks like I keep freezing. Write those out, because this is what he had me do. I put in here that my work day is from 7:30 until 4, which is 42 and a half hours a week. So then on the right-hand side, I wrote out all of my activities during that time frame and how much time I'm in each one of those activities. And then he says, take that. So for example, one of my activities, I'm in 17 hours a week, which is roughly 50% of my 42 and a half hours, which means it gets half of this circle, okay? Then you take the other thing. So then I had him on here, my sales team, I have my coaching, I have my podcast, I have my group coaching. What percentage of those hourly times does it take of your whole time? And then put that in the circle as another line, right? And here's what this coach of mine says to do. The last thing on the productivity checklist was draw your circle of focus and start to eliminate lines. eliminate those lines. And the idea of the elimination of the lines is that you are now doing more in one specific spot and you're not being distracted by other things. Can you leverage that out? What can you do with those other lines? Okay, so Raquel, do you have anything else you want to add?
I concur with all that. I would just also mention that for distractions for me, were difficult to identify because some of the distractions were also still really good things to be doing with my time, but they weren't directly aligned with my vision. So, you know, where I have a specific vision, a company-driven vision, but if I'm spending a lot of time, you know, with individual client or related activity, which are all great revenue generating, career building things, they were still distracting me from what my main vision was. So once I understood that, it really helped me with the balance and helped me with delegation and setting up my organization more effectively. But distractions are sometimes good. It's not always just the bad stuff. It's the good stuff that'll distract you from your vision.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Okay, so I think we've got like 2 minutes here. So any ahas or anything that anybody wants to share, they can feel free to unmute themselves. This is a good time where other people can learn from other people's what they learned. Anybody want to share anything?
I think Raquel's mention just now is really big. I think we have the tendency to think that everything would be bad that's a distraction, but some of it's good stuff, but it still kind of needs to go.
Yeah, I agree. For sure. Thanks, Seth. Okay, anybody else? Okay, great. Well, I appreciate all of your time today. Thank you for letting me be your guest host. This has been really fun. And I would say, yeah, go find me on Instagram or social media, but I'm not there anymore right now. I'm taking a little break. So, but yeah, if anything we can do for y'all, we're here for you. Thank you for supporting Dana and her morning mindset. And I hope I can come back one time soon. Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.